Look,
Hello
every
and welcome to the Tuesday night 7 p.m. Adventure Highway stream of Sleuths in Ysgard. My name is Blake Komar and I will be the dungeon master for this evening. Um, right off the bat, let's just jump in to our players for the day. We are missing one for the night, and we will see what happens to her in game. And first and foremost, Brittany, tell us about your character and a little about yourself.
Oh god, I think I froze again. Okay, hopefully you can hear me.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay. I play the Battlesmith Artificer Zari. She's the mom of the group. She's not ready to get back in the dating pool no matter how often this happens. And
Yeah, I would say your character is probably has been the most propositioned, I guess, character in all of the game so far, which is there you go.
I mean, you can say what you want, but I am pregnant, so
That
Look,
is
look.
true.
The ring of abstinence has done so much for Zari.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride, I guess, Steve.
yeah.
Which brings us to Nick.
Nobody wants to be in a relationship with me. They just want to get me pregnant in the game.
Well, that's how it works. You're already pregnant. Somebody already got the milk for free. They're not
It
coming
was
back.
not, yeah, but it wasn't consensual. So damn space frogs.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's been truly understanding it for you. Maybe
They really have been. Yeah, they haven't felt bad. That's clear.
yeah. So
Look,
Nick,
I offered to hold your chest down when the thing pops out. I have been such a good friend. I saw it happen to Bronco. I have been there for you.
you've been kind.
Anyway, everybody, I play I play Steve, the former deli manager turned I guess space hero. He's probably the least qualified to be here of everybody, but he's given it the old college try. And he's doing pretty well. He's got a force ghost in his head that used to be Odin. And he's, I don't know, just trying to make it work.
love it. And yeah, he's definitely been trying his best. It's been great. Then we have under Steve, we have Kyle. Tell us about yourself and your character.
Well, first of all, every millennial identifies with Steve as trying their best. We're all here, buddy. I am Kyle. I'm playing Brogan Naked Eye, world's most confident and successful PI in all the 9 realms, of course. He's only been to 3 so far, but he's been the best in all of them. In the Chaos realm, there were no other PIs, so by default, he wins.
Mm.
And it's looking like it's the same in Ysgard. So if no one else is there to knock me down, I can't lose.
That
Yeah.
is false.
Sorry, calls out the lie immediately off the bat. um, well, I'm stoked to have you guys in today and for going forward in the campaign. Before we start, I'd like to shout out a few people. All is fiction. Thank you for all of your comments and your support. Happy to get down on what we talked about, and thank you for enjoying the stream. I'd like to thank Jess. I'd like to thank Steve or Steven, and everyone who's been awesome about making this stream awesome. So before
We have a
we
fan. We have a fan, Steven. I haven't heard of fan Steven yet.
Oh,
I
fan
hope he's a
Steven
fan. I
is
hope he's a fan of Steve.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, in a way, in the best way that someone can be a fan of Steve, I think.
Look, you're starting to sound an awful lot like a character assassination rat, and I got
Yeah.
dark ready.
Yeah, we can't have any more of those. All of a sudden, a magic item will come along that will be the staff of character assassination rat, and then
Yeah.
it'll be. Well, anyway, let's jump into our stream. Just a small recap before we get started. There's We have been traveling around Ysgard. Ragnarok is underway. We've met with the sisters in the Great Ashen Tree, Yggdrasil, and they have put our party on a quest to find multiple items. And they are on the way to the Fire Giant camp to grab a fire giant berserker shield and found themselves in what was an ambush by giant snow wolves on the camp sent by Fenrir. Got into an attack scenario, then all of a sudden got themselves in then all of a sudden found themselves defeating these snow wolves and seeing some friendly faces from the past, from probably about a week ago, that they had seen in the fire giant camp. One being Zelda, and the other being Master Splinter in his kind of what would be wearing his normal robes and still wearing the cleaning maid's apron that he had on
And
the
still,
last time
still
you'd seen
very
him.
interested in feet.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. And
Mm.
as you have gone through a battle, upon conversing slightly with Zelda, Carl faints on horseback and lays, just falls right down.
Well, she did catfish Zelda, so
Very true.
You say the C word, and my summon looks over at me, and I'm like, no, it's not you, sweetie. I think it's not.
Yeah,
those
well, I think what your
kittens.
summon was a pile of kittens
Yes.
last time.
That's
So
right. And you know what they all do? They all try to run away from Eugene because he's trying to eat them. And I'm like, no,
yes.
no, Eugene, no.
I hear
This is
Benny
not
Hill
your
music in
food
the
store.
background as like, things are chasing each other, kind of an idea in one door out another.
Yeah. I'm running around like a goober trying to be the dad because apparently the mom to Eugene has just passed out. Single dad life.
And we had ended with Master Splinter looking at Zari's ring on her finger, saying, "Oh, you've gotten married."
No, I have been married.
Oh,
I just don't wear it that often.
you've been married. Well, and then you see Zelda looking down in a not distrusting way, but a very disappointed way, as you see her eyes glaze over slightly, and she says, "Come back to camp with me. We will make sure you're safe. These wolves won't hurt you in here, Zari. They won't hurt you here." But and you see her stutter, and she walks in front of you all, solemnly, as she
I look
starts.
over. I
So
look over at
don't
Steve.
forget.
I'm like, is she the one who's hurt?
No,
Oh,
so remember, I'd like to bring it back because the end of last game, I rolled a 23 to persuade. I rolled a crit to persuade her that Zari and Carl weren't to blame for disappearing.
Even though it was literally our idea to lie to her and then leave
No,
her.
but I'm just saying, I did crit persuasion this Zelda lady. So
Did.
There you go.
He's proud of his crit.
I'm very proud of my crit. Look, I'm trying to get you out of trouble. You should.
I'm
be
very
proud of
not
crit, too.
proud of how much we've manipulated this poor fire giant woman.
She's a murderer at the end of the day. Like, do we feel bad for her?
And also, humans are slaves. At this point, we
It's
might
true.
become slaves.
Well,
We're gonna
No
get
way.
a tattoo. Wasn't it a tattoo that they give their slaves?
oh yeah, they give a
Yes.
branding.
Yeah,
Yeah, of their
Well,
owners.
I guess it's also fair. She did also hit me and almost kill me.
that's
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, she sucks.
Yeah, there's
Manipulator.
zero feeling bad for her. Anyway,
No
I'll
feeling
follow.
bad.
I'm gonna take Slignir and point him in the direction that she's walking and assume that she's telling the truth about the wolves.
Very nice. And as you and Slegnir, was Carl on the back of your horse?
Yeah, Carl was on the back of
Cool.
Slignir.
As she's laid across the back of your horse, Zari
It's like,
and
but it's a big horse. It's like a comfy
yeah.
couch up here. Yeah,
Look,
she's all right.
let's not talk about the other horse that you threw away that now I take care of.
Look, I'm
Yeah.
sorry that you got the inferior horse, and I know you're sore about it. But my god of horses
Look,
and me will be over
look,
here
Look,
trying
this horse
not to hear
was going
trying
to
not
kill
to hear your
himself,
saltiness about it.
and you blamed me. And now, after you worked so hard to make him happy, you threw him to the side like yesterday's trash, Steve. You deserve to be space pregnant.
Yeah, you do. How dare you throw away Argyle? You loved
That's just-
Argyle. You just toss him aside.
But Argyle never loved me. It was unrequited the whole time.
I have no
Gave
idea
you a
why you
compliment one
said that word
time.
the way you said that word.
Sorry.
Unrequited.
as
It's a very Steve move.
It is.
the horses as you all ride in on horseback, Zari, you were on the back of Argyle with Brogan, or I guess the horse that shall not be named, as let's not even talk about him.
No,
And
we love Argyle. Steve is just a homewrecker.
there you go.
Yes. He is the true homewrecker in this group.
As a pile of kittens follow Argyle along, a baby manticore on your shoulder.
Come on, friends. I'm not going to name you. You're all going to get numbers. You're 1, you're 2, you're 3, you're 4, you're 5, you're 6, you're 7. You're get off of me.
And as
Damn
you're
it,
walking,
Eugene, quit trying to eat him.
Exactly. Now you're doing, and I'm looking over at Carl, and I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, Mom. Real helpful."
She gives you a passed out look, being passed out. As you walking in, Zelda looks at you all, and as she looks back, says, like, I knew, because we've got a track. Probably got about 150 feet, about 200, 300 feet till we get to the camp, probably.
Yeah.
And as you look back, she says, "Oh, those are really nice kittens. I was thinking of getting a pet, but I just haven't found the right person. I don't know if they're a cat person or not, so I didn't do it.
I'm gonna quietly
You
say to her,
like
I think they're
this
for sale. You should ask
chimera?
Brogan.
Do you like the chimera?
I like.
God.
I do
God.
like chimeras.
Guys, if she asks me for the cats and then they disappear and we lie
That's
to
what
her
I'm
again
saying.
and they're just gone, we are going to have heartbroken this woman. Not
She's
once,
a
not twice,
murderer for the
3
third
times.
time.
Look, I get it. I'm just saying, how many
chimera.
that's
times
true.
can you stab
Chimera.
We
someone in
should
the
pawn
eye?
the chimera off.
Yeah, give her the
that might-
chimera.
I mean, I love you, Gene.
Oh, the Manicore. That's it. I was thinking, I'm like,
Yeah.
Chimera, Manicore.
Manicore.
Give her the
Baby
manticore.
But I love
Give her the
Eugene.
baby
I don't
man.
care about the kittens, but I love Eugene.
Yeah, I think when
Eugene
Carl wakes
will
up,
kill
she'll
us
kill
at some
someone.
point.
Carl will absolutely murder one of us.
She's giving
She
you a
wakes up.
disapproving look, Zari, while she's the passed out disapproving look. So it's
I'm
still
just
looks
saying,
passed
I
out.
love
She's
you.
passed out though, so theoretically, the roll to lie to her about this wouldn't be high.
No.
You know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm gonna go up to Zelda because we still remember where those manticores are. I mean, they were the only other landmark we saw.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm gonna tell her. I'll be like, look. So there were these. If you're looking to get a pet, that's not really a cat, not really a dog. This is Eugene. He's a manticore. We got him from his mom, and I can tell you where they're at. In the fire giant kingdom. I'm drawing a blank on what the title on that was.
Frost giant realm.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll say the fire giant realm for now, keeping it real.
Perfect. Perfect.
Isn't this Moose behind?
Oh, yes,
yes,
Moose
Muspelheim.
Moose behind.
Moose behind, yes. So of Moose behind, and I will say that in dead seriousness, like I 100% believe it. So in Moose behind, there was this really great mama manticore that still has a bunch of babies, and I'm sure if she would give me one, she would probably hook you up too if you are looking to get a pet. They're a little ugly, but I love them, and as I say that, Eugene will like gnaw on my scales with his little baby teeth that don't break anything, and I'll just kind of laugh.
Well, if I find the right person, it sounds like a good idea. I just want to make sure they're not allergic. I'm just keeping my options open and playing the field.
We did see a lot of
absolutely.
fire giants. Is love hard to come by in Fire Giant World or something?
Well, no. I mean, you see me. I do well for myself. I kind of clean up, but just
That's
long
obvious. I mean, we were all thinking it. That's why it's such a mystery.
long term, it just hasn't worked out. It's just been,
How many relationships would you say it's been, Zelda?
this month.
Yeah, well, let's just round it, make it a nice even number. Last 6 months, what are you talking?
Well, if you include Carl, probably about 9, maybe 12.
So let's say around 10 in the last 6 months. So you're averaging, a couple every month. Have you ever looked inward, Zelda? Have you ever thought that maybe the universal part of the equation here is you, and that maybe you need to work on yourself?
All right, cats, we're leaving the room. and I start doing this, and I'm shooing the cats and Eugene away, and we're leaving the room, guys.
Sorry's
Last
backing
time
out
Zelda was
too.
upset, he almost killed me.
I'm just trying to be honest with you, and I want you to be honest with yourself, Zelda.
Well, you sound like my ex, telling me to look inside for joy. But you
Which
know,
which ex specifically told you that?
well, all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I.
Thought I'd point that out.
This is, anyway, things have not been working out as well, and I'm sorry, Zari. I didn't know you were married, or I wouldn't have been so forthcoming.
It's all right. It happens. But yes, I am married.
You deserve
True.
all the happiness that you can
outside
get.
outside of a pile of kittens. Yeah, she's real friggin' cute as I'm being mauled by kittens.
Well, anyway, I woke up this morning, and as the multiple suns rose, I ended up checking my horoscope, and I saw that Mercury was in retrograde, and I knew today would be a joyous day. So, and then
Yeah.
I looked on the horizon, of course, because my horoscope told me to look to the horizon for my happiness, and I saw you all, and I saw an ambush. Um, so, as soon as I saw you all, I went out and and as she's talking, you're starting to arrive at the camp, kind of a thing. As you're going through, you're seeing like human and like dwarf and elf slaves just carrying boxes of stuff around, and like um, you're seeing like fire giants walking around, preparing their gear, slaying the last of the wolves, kind of a thing that haven't ran away. And she says, "Well, you know, I'm just glad, I was able to, get my sign right today, and really, find you guys. You've been great friends to me."
Yeah, I'm glad that you're working on yourself while Mercury's in lemonade. That's a healthy thing to do.
Lemonade?
Yeah.
Great.
Astronomigy is super good.
Are you guys making fun of me?
Astronomy.
That's no. I'm
No,
also I'm an
they're
asparagus
just
too. I
idiots.
know.
Gosh.
They're just idiots.
I will pull out my flask. I'm just like, oh yeah, asparagus, beans
You
and
know,
carrots.
Come on,
Whenever an
guys, this
asparagus
way.
goes into lemonade, it's tough.
God, as you see a sigh come out of her mouth and says, "Splinter, come on, you guys come on this way." And you
We're
hear her
coming.
in a
We're
very
following.
loud whisper to Master Splinter, "Classic Sagittarius," and goes and opens the door. And as you walk in, you see that a door opens to, it seems like a makeshift style door opening to, you see large, like 30-foot tents that are all around. And it opens into a large tent style room that would be like a house for any normal sized person. But what you can see that on one wall, there's like many cages with beds in it that are human sized, and then you see on the other wall a very large bed, fire giant size. And there's like a little kitchenette for cooking, stuff like that. All stuff for the road, kind of an idea. Very, Spartan in a sense, because it's a war camp. But you're seeing about, probably, if you were to look around, it would look like seas of fire giants, kind of a thing. 100,000 of them invaded.
Are there any seeing stones around, like following our show still?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, balls. All right. I look around and I see a couple seeing stones, and I'm like, well, time for Brogan's famous spicy kitchen. Who's ready to get weird? We're cooking, baby. We're cooking.
And
No, giant weed again.
giant
I'm gonna-
weed.
So
Giant
we're
weed.
kind of all free to walk around. In
Yeah,
here,
you're
right?
free to walk around. It's in the house. You do notice about 10 minutes after you walk into this tent area, in this like house-sized tent area, you do notice that what would be four humanoids. There's like two humans, two elves that walk in carrying a whole bunch of like food, lumber for fire, and stuff like that. They bring it in, and they nod over to Zelda and Master Splinter, and then walk into their cages and just sit on
Oh,
their
wait,
beds.
wait. Before you
I'm
guys
gonna-
go in there, right here, boys, I'm cooking.
Oh,
Please.
I'm gonna go up to Zari and say, so while nobody's looking or paying attention, in case we get thrown in some of those cages, is there any way you could like rig them so they don't lock properly?
I could if we're not being watched. Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Likely.
I've got you here. I'm gonna go get her attention. So I'm gonna I'll go
Oh,
back
God,
over
you would die.
and start distracting Zelda away from the cages so that Zari can do some work on them.
I got my chef's hat on. I'm ready. Here we go. While you're doing that, here we go, ladies and gents. It's time for the absolute best spicy cook-off.
Ooh, as you hear all of the four slaves, very excited. And two of them actually look familiar. They possibly might be the two you had seen
Oh
leaving the
no,
camp.
it's the dwarf and the elf from the other day. All right, so we have our two old friends and our two new friends. We're about to get weird.
And they say,
All right.
"Fantastic to see you guys. I didn't know you were going to be signing on as a slave for Zelda also."
That is 100% not what's happening right now. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
Okay, so we're going to do performance to see how good I am at really just making this a bing bang straight up show. We're having straight Gordon Ramsay vibes here. Oh, we're killing it.
Where between Gordon Ramsay and Guy Fieri do you land on this scale?
Yeah.
I'm closer to Guy Fieri because I actually want to enjoy it with Flavor Town.
Yeah,
but Gordon
I thought you were
Ramsay's
gonna
there
yell
for
at
the slaves.
yell at the chicken breast to be better, like to make it.
No, I'm yelling at the slaves because they carried the food wrong and it's going to make the taste awful. I'm like, you can't carry that upside down. It puts all the juices in the bottom. What
Oh,
do you?
sorry, sir. We didn't mean to. Thank you for the constructive criticism.
I backhand one of them, like, cut it out.
I deserve that, sir. Thank you.
This is Flavor Town, and we're getting weird.
Oh.
And then I just start throwing spices and stuff in there. I'm having a good time.
Oh joy, oh joy! Weird in Flavor Town today. We're weird in Flavor Town. Hey guys,
Dude,
get around. And you see all the slaves kind of clapping their hands, like.
Due to copyright restrictions, you can't say "bam" when you throw the spices in.
Yeah.
So you're going with yam.
Yeah.
Yam. This doubles as a slapper. Don't make me.
So, Steve, you were pulling what's it called? You were pulling Zelda aside so Zari can go work on the cages.
Yes. Gonna try to distract her. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. Let me see what would best be. So, can I use persuasion to convince her to talk to her relationship troubles to me?
Yeah, for sure.
I can't believe she's not watching the cooking show, but whatever.
Your performance. I'd hate to roll you guys against each other.
Gordon Ramsay yell at people for being an idiot sandwich. You've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But these people haven't seen it. We're in Moose behind.
Yeah. She's
you don't know that.
Zelda starts waiting.
We're being watched.
You are being watched. Very closely, actually, by millions of viewers in Toril right now.
Against our will.
As
they're all gonna know I cook.
The cooking show commences. It's really hard to pull Zelda away from watching him cook. She's waiting for the big finish, the garnish, and wants to make sure she sees it come out right. It's a will they won't they kind of experience for her. Seeing if the garnish will come out right, but she does kind of give her attention to the both of you, which will draw it away from Zari. And she says, "Steve, have you seen him do this before?"
No, he's incredible. You really need to pay attention because you'll learn a lot if you watch him.
It's like
it's in the little details. You know what I mean?
It's like watching art and science meet together into.
It really is. It's the best of Alton Brown meets Guy Fieri. You seriously need to. You got to pay attention.
If I hear Steve compliment my cooking, I'm gonna be really excited. As a previous award winner as the best deli manager ever.
That's right.
Because the only way Brogan knows how to do anything is greatest PI ever, greatest whatever ever. Whatever you are the greatest at, it's period, end of story. That's the only way I know how to
I was on the cover of Sliced magazine, 1996.
All day.
Cold cuts, baby.
I throw a bunch of spices in. What I'm actually doing is I'm taking like goat and I'm basically turning it into fire giant goat curry.
God, that's going to be so spicy.
I know. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Big spice guy here as a acidic dragon type. I like the spice.
You hear an echo through the tent from Zelda yelling, "You can't be afraid of flavor. You can't be afraid of flavor."
I'm not afraid of flavor. I'm afraid of death. Death by spice is not what on my to-do list.
Well, it's that or death by snooze.
I'm human.
We've all had things on our to-do list, Zari, as she turns her head to the side. and then turns it right back to the cooking.
Oh, the shade.
Fuck!
I'm gonna point to Zari towards the cages, like you need to get to work.
So Zari goes over to the cages. What are we seeing as
Mm.
Zari sneaks over to the cages? First and foremost, give me a stealth as you're going.
Don't forget to whisper, sneak, sneak, sneak.
Yeah.
That's
Makes
true.
everything better.
That helps.
Right.
Oh,
my
snap!
I
Sneak, sneak,
disappeared.
sneak.
She is a splinter cell over there.
Sneak, sneak, sneak. You ain't ever finding me.
graceful
right.
graceful as a duck on water. I don't know. I can't. Give me a graceful.
A swan,
Graceful
something.
as a
you
mom
go.
trying to get away from the 3 kids that she's taking care of. That's how
That's fair.
graceful she is.
Done.
You deserved that.
They never saw you leave the room. There will be no crying for the next 15 minutes.
It's also a slight jab at Steve, so I'm loving it. That's a twofer, and I'll take it.
Hey, I mean,
So, what do you start doing with these locks? Give me, I guess it would be your lock picks or your multi-tool, your all-purpose tool, your tool proficiency of what you're trying to do
I
with these
have
locks.
these tools and tinker tools.
Was that like a you flexing? Like I got these tools, and then you're just like going straight Skyrim on it, like punching the lock? Because I want it. Sorry.
If I have an hour, I can make any tool we need. Okay, so I'm never worried about us getting locked in somewhere.
So,
well,
Um,
us is a big thing because it could just be you in one cage and us in others.
all right. I guess I'll use my thieves tools to mess with the locks to make sure they don't lock well. / you can just they'll lock, but you can jiggle it from the inside to pop it back open. If that makes sense.
Awesome. Yeah, give me a tool roll to see how this goes, and we'll use your one tool roll, either tinker or all-purpose, to see how this rolls with.
Intelligence or dex?
We can go with your intelligence because I think everything you do as an artificer is intelligence based.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
26.
Yeah. They are perfectly customized now cages. They are 007 style customizations.
That's a 20 and a 19. You're talking top 2.5% of your game right there, killing it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the last of the good rolls, guys. I'm never getting this again.
So
Say I don't want to jinx it, but we've had some pretty sweet rolls so far.
yeah, very sweet.
Ready for
18,
my
18
one.
25, 26.
Secret is you hit it twice and then you slap it on the side.
These the slaves look over as cooking as broken as you finish, and they what your coconut goat curry is probably what taking up a whole like pot kind of a thing, buffet style, family style.
It's like a giant gumbo pot, and I'm just throwing the flavor in there, just getting real into it. As soon as yeah, they're all cheering in the background, and I'm like, all right, here comes for the big finish.
I'm
And I
gonna
start-
as you say that, I'm gonna put my arm around Zelda and I'm gonna be like, here it comes. Watch.
I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this.
hyping you
So,
up.
I take my hands and I start doing this rub thing, and I'm basically sprinkling a bunch of that like fire giant weed and a few other spices together, and then I give it the old salt pour right there, and I just go
The salt
across.
bay.
And I'm like, I salt pan it around as a saucy garnish, and then I finish with pouring because I obviously evenly spread all the garnish perfectly into bowls where the curry is in the bowls, and then on top of that you have the flavor, and I even let some broth soak into the bottom so all the flavor gets in the vegetables because I know what I'm doing. This isn't my first time.
No, not
All
at
right.
all.
So do we get an actual cooking roll to see how this comes out?
Well, the
Because
performance was amazing.
It's been performance up until now.
Yeah.
Oh wow, rude.
Skill check? Would this be a wisdom as a skill check? I think, right?
Yeah, I guess my only question would be, is that like with brewer's supplies and some other cooking stuff, would I get any type of bonus to that or no?
Well, if you have,
I mean, you've been cheered on, right?
yeah,
And
if
I'm
you
a
have
cook.
cook supplies, you know what?
I do.
Yeah,
I've loaned them to
we
him.
can give you advantage on this roll as
So it's just straight wisdom with advantage?
yeah, wisdom. Just roll straight wisdom with advantage, and this is your. You've heard songs about your moment, and this is yours.
That's
I
not
would have
bad.
hit it even without advantage. That's an 18. That's a
That's
quality
18.
roll.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
Top 10% dish.
you've heard songs about capturing
yeah.
your moment all the way, I would say, since the 1950s in meta land. But now
Look,
you've
knees
taken your
knees
moment.
weak, arms sweaty.
Yep.
I mean, it's straight up mom spaghetti right now. I'm capturing that moment.
Steve, you notice that the back of Zelda is sweating watching what happened. If you look over, you see flop sweat on her brow, kind of
Excellent.
giving a kind of a panting breath as she's watched she's seen lightning strike twice in the same place right in front of her. Magic happen.
Right.
Yeah, that's 2 18s. I played it up too.
I'm gonna put my because she stands very tall, so I'm gonna put like my armor on one leg, like I'd embrace a friend, I guess, but it's just one leg because she's so big. And I'm gonna be like, see, I told you this was gonna be worth every minute of your time.
Oh, it was. It was everything I needed right now. I need to sit down as she goes to sit on the bed. You see that on her bed, kind of pushed to the back of it, and we're talking a large bed. We're talking like wrapper-sized bed, like a whole like if it was in a room, it would be a whole room-sized bed.
California King
Yeah,
setup.
it's like
Yeah.
3 California Kings stacked front to back. Yeah, yeah. Even though the numbers don't add up in that respect, yeah. Like three
I
of
knew what
them.
you meant.
And pushes Carl to the side as Carl is passed out, sits down, and says, "Oh, so, Zari, when were you going to tell me about this marriage business?" As she grabs a bowl of the curry gumbo, kind of the goat.
Handing out the bowls. Before she finishes doing that, I look at Zelda real quick and I'm like, "Am I allowed to feed the slaves? Yes, no."
And they say, "Pretty please, ma'am. Pretty please. Can we have some more? Can we taste? Can we touch it? We watched it." And she goes, "Yeah, you guys can have some. Dig in, you knuckleheads."
Boom, boom, boom. I slide out bowls and then I take a little small bowl to the side and I'm like, "This is for you.
Oh, thank
You
you. Thank you.
don't you dare spit this up."
We're,
And he
we're,
kind of looks up at me with his human face and I'm like, "You heard me."
I promise I
You know
won't.
who I am.
Honest, I promise I won't, sir. We usually just get the bones and have to eat the bone marrow out. But this time we get a full meal.
Yeah, yeah. Enjoy this.
Well,
Mhm.
this is truly a blessed day. Uh, thank you, Master, Master. Oh gosh, Master Zelda.
Wizard?
Um, um, sits down and says, "So, Zari, when were you gonna tell me you were married?"
Um, Not sure. It never came up. There's been a lot that happened in the last 2 days. Okay. And and Zari takes a bite of Rogan's food and immediately her eyes start to water because of how freaking spicy he made it.
Aww.
She's just like,
As she starts to cry, I'm like, "I never knew you were such a softie, Zari." 100% ignoring the fact that that's not the case, and then I go back to eating.
Yep.
it just never came up. We've been from point A to point B in like 5 days. And honestly, not sure if he's still alive. I'm kind of panicking on that. So, a lot to process in very little time.
So there's a chance.
When she says that, I'm gonna say, Zelda, we're here looking for like a giant fire shield. We've heard about this. We want to lay our eyes on it. Have you heard anything about that?
The fire shields. Well, yeah, I actually just got mine. They're handed out by Suitor, specifically to the Berserker Corps, and I've just joined in the Berserker Corps.
You're in the Berserker Corps, huh?
Yeah, we
Is
keep
that a
our
very prestigious position?
Yeah, when it comes to pillaging and slaying, you just got to really be good at it. And
Yeah, you're just gonna give it 110%. That's what I've heard.
well, if your heart's not in it, you really won't pillage the way you're supposed
You
to.
know,
takes
Steve
commitment.
is quite the pillager
I know
himself.
something about pillaging myself. Yeah,
He may or may not just lose himself in the moment. Oh my God! Yes, second Eminem quote. I'm gonna get more tonight. I'm gonna get more.
We'll keep them
yeah.
going.
I'm gonna pull out my axe and show her like this is this is my tool of my trade, and it's the axle with the battle axe on it with all the Fast and the Furious logos.
It's also really into family.
No, as soon as you say it's into family, the family decals light up on it and glowing green.
The neons are fantastic. Did you do that yourself?
No, so it came this way, but I've been thinking about putting my own spin on it. You know how we are.
Aftermarket.
Yeah.
Please do not break your axe.
I really like Michelle Rodriguez. I really think she was underrated in the series and needed more acclaim.
100%. Yeah. I also agree. I was devastated when she died in the fourth one.
ninth one. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. There's
what?
28.
He's died multiple times.
I can't count how many there are.
It's a lot of them. One of the middle ones when the series kind of wasn't as great.
I mean, that's what happens when you catch that venom.
Can I see your shield? I'd love to see it.
I
I'm
can't
really.
show it to you right now.
Why
All
not?
of the Berserker shields are kept in a. We have sections to our camp, and they're all kept in a section lockup, given how important they are.
They don't trust you with them?
No, they not. They just don't want us to maybe misplace them. Like, have you ever like woken up and then not found one of your shoes and then been without shoes?
No, I totally get it. But you could bring us to see them, right? Like I
Who wears,
would just
who
be
wears
really.
shoes?
Master Splinter
You guys
says
are
no
just
one,
letting
no
the
one should
gift
wear
arrive
shoes.
look at you weird. Who wears shoes?
Yeah, Master
Yeah,
Splinter
yeah, I'm
agrees,
looking at
staring
you,
at your
Splinter.
feet.
I say that and I aggressively stare at Splinter because he eye humps my feet every time I walk in. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, he
looking at
hasn't
you.
broke eye contact. He is. It's like.
What is
It's-
that? Because spices fell on them because I'm cooking?
Well,
What a
no,
weirdo!
he's just that way. He admires greatness in a sense. He he's staring at them literally like the NSA at a national emergency. He is eyeing them down.
Can I roll a persuasion to see if I could get her to take us to see them?
Well, yeah. The thing is, we got to make sure. And she just downs the whole bowl at once as she goes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so spicy, Brogan. Thank you.
Give her the old finger.
Sorry,
finger
currently
gun.
it's just crying while eating this. Like, there's just tears and tears, and she cannot stop because.
Sorry,
of
I
how
know you're
frustrated-
worried about your husband. I get it. I get it. You're a real sweetheart. We're here for you. Whatever you need.
I need milk. What did you put in here?
I don't think you want milk from wherever they're going to get milk.
We do have fire giant milk if you need it.
See, I told
Never
you.
mind.
Oh, fire teeth. Yeah, great,
Thanks for
great.
killing me. It's
Somehow
fine.
it's that fire tea is spicy. It's spicy
It's
milk.
actually worse.
Somehow
Oh my God! Why is it ghost pepper titty?
Yeah, I was gonna say a drop of it gets on your axe and just starts like melting through.
Yeah.
All of you was just sad. You're like, and my clothes have burn holes now. Like I don't.
So
Yeah,
she was saying something before she downed her soup when I asked to.
and her face
persuade her.
starts sweating a little bit and says, "Oh, that's spicy, just how I like it," and winks over at Zari, who's crying, sobbing, snot, everything. And
It's a good look.
it says,
Why
"Well,
is
I
this
can't
so
really take you to
silly?
see them. Well, I can. It depends. I can really only have my slaves accompany me there, and we'd have to tell the sergeant at arms, essentially why we need to be there." And she goes and grabs from under the bed her brand for branding, and
Yeah.
she says, I can take you there, but this won't mean that you're mine per se, unless you'd like to. We do have a great quality of life for my slaves.
I mean, I know you're not into it, but like I've been secretly harboring a little bit of a thing for you, and I was hoping, we could do more than like a slave owner relationship.
Oh, that's really flattering of you,
I know it is.
Steve,
Thank you.
but you're just not my type.
Yeah,
know
I
it is.
understand.
That's some Stockholm syndrome if I ever saw it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna very flashily. Suddenly, my horns become frosted and tipped after that amazing meal, and I'm gonna look at Zelda and be like, "Look, this perfection of food is nobody's slave." And that's just all there is to it because there's no slave to flavor.
Don't you think your sergeant at arms would want to try this, Zelda?
Well, we
I
could
do
bring
have
him-
extra bowls.
Yeah, I mean, he would like spicy food. I'll tell you what, if you guys do me a favor, I can show you these awesome Berserker shields.
What's the
All
favor?
right. What do you need?
We need to go by
If
my
it
ex's
involves
house.
Zari, we're out. Okay. Oh, we'll go by your ex's house.
Yeah, we just need to go by my ex's house and hang out front for a little while. I'm sure, well, not her house, her tent right now, but I'm sure she'll be home any minute now. These two slaves, they know exactly where she is. I ended up transferring ownership. I mean, I think
You know
they
what I'm
would-
gonna do? I'm gonna bring the food too, so she can smell how good it is and be jealous.
I
of what
think she will be
great
jealous.
food you
And
get
looks
to
over at
have.
Zari and says, "Would you hold my hand when we stand out in front of her house and all wave?"
Sure.
Standing behind her, like, yeah.
Fantastic,
Sure,
Zari. It's a
we can
date.
do that.
Oh,
What a date.
you homewrecker.
Okay.
She's a
Husband
married
could possibly
woman.
be alive. I
might
need to
possibly
make
be
sure
dead
he is
too.
dead before anything happens.
All right, fair enough. If I had a loved one that all of a sudden left me without me knowing, I definitely would feel hurt and want to know what happened to them. And looks over at you, Zari.
Out of game
Honestly, I think it's the
antler
other
on
way
that.
around.
We all know it's a fake marriage, but this is so good.
I think it's the other way around, considering we just got teleported into a chaos dimension. So I think I left him by accident, and I really need him to know I'm not.
Since Slegnir can talk, we should have gone with that. Slegnir used to be your husband and got turned into a six-legged horse. That could have been funny too.
Oh, that would have been awesome. We can still double back on that and have Argyle or Slegnir speak up if we sneak it in, because they're the only talking horses in Moose Ass. I mean, at Moose. I mean, I don't know.
No, there will be no talking of horses being husbands.
You're right.
Okay.
Because it should be Argyle. It shouldn't even be a decision because you ride on him. Correct. Correct. This is definitely the decision. It's Argyle.
No horse for the horses. Okay. Husband, horses, horse. Okay, none of that.
I mean, just add a game. I think Argyle would make an excellent husband. Very attentive. Anyway, all right.
Wait,
You would
lost
know,
the husband
discarder of
with wolves.
Argyle.
Since you guys are here, you may want to get involved in something with us. I mean, I know you missed the whole raid on Ysgard, and I'm glad to see you here, of course.
I'm just glad you guys got rid of that terrible Odin, and I'm going to look over at Slegnir.
as you see
as she
one
says that,
solid tier.
I'm gonna be like, no, we were totally fighting the wolves the whole time. They were being super weird. Like that's why we weren't at the raid. We were obviously doing this for the last 2 days.
Oh, you're really. I mean, that's so helpful. Give me a deception real quick as you say that, and she says you're so helpful.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, we try.
She doesn't have a high intelligence. She's got a high strength, though. I'll say that in con.
Ooh,
you did it. Yeah.
That's 5. All right.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. If you want, we're planning an attack, a 2-prong attack over the mountains. First thing, it seems that since we've got here, it turns out everyone wants to take Ysgard, so we have to kill everyone. Small price to pay for taking Ysgard. We consider it. We call that in Fire Giant a win-win-win-win. We kill everyone.
It's just
and we take the
extra
land.
pillaging, right? Am I
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
I mean, that's pillaging more spicy food, because I mean it's not like I'm gonna stop cooking. I love cooking.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was teaching a class once in second year pillaging. Actually, it was really. If you guys want to learn anything, I'm the one to learn from. But
no, I would love that.
We're going to be raiding the mountain. Fenrir has been launching attacks on our camp recently, and it would seem Hell has kind of stayed out of it, but we need to kill them all, so we're going to do it. So it's kind of a 2-prong. First, we would have to march up the mountain and then over the side. So when we go up the mountain, we're going to hit it's the name Jörgmundor, I believe. Let me double check it. Jörgmundor.
First of all, you've done a very good job with your Norse mythology. I've caught on to like 3 or 4 well played, so I'm gonna.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been.
Tip the cap there.
Yeah, I've been immersing myself in the world. So eating large chunks of meat, sharpening weapons a lot.
Before tomorrow morning. So do you want to go? You want to go to your ex-girlfriend's house tonight? Then is that your plan?
Yeah, we can definitely go tonight at sundown. And make kind of a big fuss. We'll stand out front of her tent. We can maybe dance. If you're interested.
What is me and Brogan's role in this whole thing? Because it seems like the primary thing you want is to hold hands with Zari and make your ex jealous. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that out of my
but
own mouth.
You can be honest with us. This is a judgment-free zone here.
Yeah, we're all friends here. I mean,
we're all spicy cooking friends here.
Obviously, we came back because we're friends. There was no delusion in that at all. I mean, we were fighting the wolves for you guys, helping out. We came back. I mean, we're just here to have a good time and help Team Fire Giant.
True. Well, this this is just beneficial for everyone. I love it. Yeah, this must be the gumbo talking, but yeah, I definitely I would I want to make her jealous, and I want to make her pay for breaking my heart.
All right, perfect. I got this. Slaves, come here.
Yes.
I know that's your realm, Zelda. I apologize. I need you guys to bring enough wood to start a fire and the rest of the cooking ingredients because we're gonna get weird. And I'll lean over to Zelda. I'll be like, Zelda, if you don't mind, do you have any fire giant booze too? I mean, we can really turn this into a party.
Fantastic. I love a party. Um,
Awesome.
I'm
Bring
gonna
the
ask
booze
I'm gonna
too.
ask those two if they can sing. The extra guys,
The slaves?
Well,
Yeah.
we have four. We have
uh,
four slaves.
yeah,
Two that we
the two
know.
that you had met prior, and the two they say, yeah, we can sing like a creepy little boys choir, like
I
creepy
like
boys
it.
choir songs.
So I'm gonna just take a minute to jot down some lyrics, and I'm gonna give them the backup vocals to Seal's "Kiss from a Rose." So when we get there, I can do a little performance, and maybe there can be a slow dance or something.
And
Just
then
say here,
Ooh.
memorize this, guys.
we
Before
can
we get over
definitely
there.
do it
Okay?
in creepy boys choir. We can definitely
I'm
sing it.
excited
If
about
you can't do a 4-step waltz to that, you're basically a
That's-
barbarian.
Which is why I'll be singing it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, when we sing, we sound like a choir of angels or 12-year-old boys singing. We're
Yeah,
perfect.
that's perfect. Yeah.
As long as you don't forget to bring me the cooking supplies, it'll be fine.
We'll have it all.
Zari's going to take some of the undershirts and Zelda's undershirts and go and write "Let's get weird" on them.
Which are like banners.
Yeah, because she's like, okay, let's do this. Let's.
That's
get
my saying as a real life
weird."
person. Let's get weird. I love this.
Yes.
I'm so
Let's
happy.
get weird.
You see that as the slaves are going around, they have a tear in their eye, not a tear of servitude or slavery, but a tear of joy to be able to serve Zelda and build this party for everyone.
Right.
They are
Oh, so
excited.
weird.
She says, well, yeah,
Slegnir, do you mind if we hang a "Let's Get Weird" off of you because you're rather large?
I do mind. Yes, I have dignity and integrity.
Okay.
You knew that wasn't
Okay,
gonna go well.
I'm listening to you, Slegnir, as I put the shirt on.
He does not break
I'm
a
listening.
cold stare.
I'm listening. Even Siegel would be
The
very
cold stare starts, and you're putting the shirt over, and the head just emerges in the same cold stare.
Yep.
just
hasn't
straight
moved,
anger
cold
the whole
stare.
time. I'm like, I'm listening. It's just
His
it's
ears
fine.
are pinned back flat on his back. He's so
like straight pink from anger, just like turning red. And I'm like, you're blending in real well with the fire giant. I'm so proud of you, Slag.
No answer.
Okay, you have Steve on your back 90% of the time. I think you've lost your dignity, Slug.
listen, why are you throwing me under the bus? I'm trying to get us a shield here.
I'm then gonna look
Terrible.
over at Argyle and be like, bro hoofs.
As Argyle looks over and says, someday I will be the king of all horses. I will
Yeah, I
learn.
don't think so. Yeah. All right,
You're
toast
my-
your bath, whatever you
You're
say.
my
So-
king, bro.
I'm gonna say let's get this show on the road. I feel like we're ready to go.
Well,
Grab the gumbo, grab the banners. I got my backup singers. We're ready to go.
as
Let's get this party started.
the slaves start picking up all of the wood and everything they need. Of course, Slegnir does come along as he's got a shirt on that's stretching his whole body that says "Let's get weird" on both sides. A lot of exclamation points, hearts, smiley faces, everything along those lines.
Along the way, we're gonna start practicing the harmonies here and stuff, so that because I'm gonna need advantage on that roll when we get there. So
Sure.
we're practicing the whole way.
Who's on a grave.
As they're singing,
Oh, yeah, you're all over it.
"Kiss from the rose," as they're doing creepy boy choir, as it's coming
It's
from
by a
Angela.
rose. By a rose. I'm gonna slap a slave.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for
Idiot.
correcting me, Brogan. Thank
Don't slap the
Idiot.
slave. You are not Zelda. Don't slap the slave.
you.
Oh,
Rule
so
number
only
what?
she gets to bring the pimp hand game strong? It's discipline and respect. All right?
No.
That's how we do it.
No.
What rule was that? Don't slap the slaves.
Rule number 53. Don't slap the slave.
Look, we're all wearing pants. We obeyed rule 1. You're getting aggressive now, Mom.
There
It's
are
from-
more rules that you need to learn, son.
She pulled the sun out on Brogan.
She did. I like that Brogan's still got his chef hat on amidst all this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're 100% chef all day, baby. All day.
As you hear a
You're 100%
creepy boy
drunk
choir
all
song
day,
of
baby.
"Kiss from the Rose" as it's in the background as going forward.
If you
They're
say
just
from
practicing.
again, I'm going to lose it. It's by a rose.
Oh, sorry. You've corrected me twice. You shouldn't. Here, take a finger. Just cut it off.
No, I'm not going to cut a finger off. That doesn't help you sing.
Oh,
Just say bye instead.
well, thank you for your graciousness. You've been so fantastic to me.
Oh my God. Brogan is literally like, this is middle management all over again. It's like running my PI firm. This is terrible. Oh my God. Oh my God. Where's that fire giant booze?
And you see, walks up Master Splinter and puts his arm around your back slightly. And as he does, you see he has his apron on, and he says, "Can I be your sous chef?"
Yeah, and I'll slap his hand. Don't touch me again.
Oh,
I'm in chef mode.
I did not mean to. I really thought we had some kind of connection before when we hugged in the infinity pool. But
Yep. We will. You can be my sous chef if we never, ever mention that again.
fantastic. My lips are zipped as he does like a zipper along his lips.
Guess what? They're kissed by a rose, nothing else. And by the way, I'll look at the slaves. That's by a rose.
Yes, sir. It's definitely by a rose.
Perfect.
It's been hammered into our heads by your fist, and thank you for that. And
now I have to watch this, Splinter.
And he says, and he goes to unzip his mouth slightly, and he goes, they do have an infinity pool here. It is very comfortable.
I'm just going to zip his mouth back.
I was going to say, would anyone else like to answer? You know what Brogan does instead? Instead of being in pure anger, he walks away and just goes pee. He's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not having this. I'm just walking away from weird infinity pool guy. And as he does, I walk behind the Let's Get Weird poster / Slegnir, so that way he can't look at my feet creepily as I do it. I'll be right back.
As this goes on, you guys are starting to get close to Hildy's house, and looks over at Steve and Zari and says, "So this is Hildy's tent. Her and two of her slaves should be in there, doing whatever they do when I'm not around, because I'm no longer around, and it's hurt. It's really hurt to be not with her. And I thought Carl filled that hole inside me, but truly Carl hasn't. As you look back and see a Carl giving the passed out face on the back of Slegnir.
Yeah.
She is tied up to Slegnir with a banner of "Let's Get Weird."
Yeah. Oh, an idea. You guys can weekend at Bernie's Carl at the party. Just to tie her up and her hands moving like puppets.
Because she's very small, so
It'd be easy.
It works.
I feel like someone could just dance with her unconscious
I have an
body.
idea. It's
Uh-oh.
going to
Oh
happen.
no. Oh no.
Dangerous when the
Alright.
DM gets ideas.
No, it's true, especially when they say it in that way.
Yeah, when I'm so happy.
The thing is, we let him do that, so that makes it worse.
Yeah. I feel like we're blameless in this whole situation, and that's the story we're sticking with when Carl comes back next week.
Yep, you guys are going to be completely blameless in this whole situation. It will be me to blame for my ideas when this situation does come about, and you will see exactly what it looks like. So as we approach the camp, or the campsite where Hildy's tent is in this war camp, you see a whole bunch of fire giants walking around, different slaves with different brandings, all of them having these smiles on their faces, apparently, and living the best slave life, apparently, which is just... I feel terrible saying that as a human.
I do too, just hearing it, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Is
it
everyone
has to
cringing?
be the food with how happy you're describing them. There has to be something in the food or in the water with how happy you are describing these slaves.
Yeah, in the comments, please, anyone who watches or listens, please leave in the comments if it makes you cringe also to hear me say living their best slave life. I think it would be helpful to me to stop maybe saying that. But for now, as they're living their best slave life, we enter the camp area where Hildy's tent is, and she goes, "That's Hildy's tent, guys. Let's start getting set up. And those aren't getting set up. Let's start harmonizing." And Brogan, you have tonight's meal ready as you see the sun going down. So.
Well, no, it's not ready. I'm gonna fresh prepare it right here. It's gonna be brand spanking new and delicious.
Get the flavor going. I get it. I get it.
Gotta bring Flavor
Look,
Town
look,
here.
In the same way that there are 9 realms, there are 9 spheres of flavor, and you know what? We're gonna use every single one of them to make this just sing.
Oh, I want it to be a party in my mouth. Let's do this.
Yes, don't. If
Look,
you could not say party in my mouth
we're
again.
all about the mouth parties here. I'm ignoring Steve. We're all about the mouth parties here.
No, we are not. That is a you thing.
Well, I mean that's fair, married Zari, but some of us are all about the mouth
I
parties.
just want you to know that if that becomes an us problem, we're gonna firmly make it a you problem.
Look, you already had a mouth party, space pregnant. I don't need you. I don't need
That
your
was a
BS.
hand party, and it was non-consensual, and I won't
Yeah.
tell you again.
It sounds an awful lot like it was for family.
I look so angry at you as my sword
the
lights
axe
up
lights
on
up.
my back.
You're like,
it's doing neon flashes.
you're like, he
between
used
colors.
it against me.
Dang, I thought we only had one barbarian. It looks like we're going to get two soon.
That's the
Wow.
plan. I'm gonna multi-class. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So
Too much effort.
exactly. So I sit down to get started, and the first thing I do before I get ready to cook is I look at all my kittens, and I'm like, guys, go away. All the fire giants are gonna try to eat you. Go hide over there and be a pile of kittens.
They
What,
look
the
at you as a
kittens
pile of kittens,
disappeared?
looks at you, and starts to just roll around on each other, kind of in place.
And then I look at Eugene, and I'm like, Eugene, get him, chase him.
As he perfectly sheepdogs these things, if a sheepdog was a lion trying to eat sheep, and moves them to another area as they're just running in kind of circles.
I high five myself because Carl's asleep, and I'm like, parenting win. Way to
Just
go.
pick up her unconscious
Just
hand and
lost.
high five it.
Yeah, I'm like, go self, way to go. I'm like, Carl, you were there in spirit, appreciate you. And then I get down to business because we're gonna defeat the Huns with flavor.
And as you're starting to cook, you see Slegnir. Zelda starts saying, Slegnir, it's a pleasure to meet you. We've heard so much about you here, the god of all horses. Um, you know, I have nothing against you or your lands, but I'm going to completely kill everyone and conquer them all. I hope you're here with me to do so. I think you'd be a really great addition to the team. Welcome aboard, kind of a thing.
Welcome aboard.
The perfect middle management, introduction. Make sure you turn your papers into HR and welcome aboard to Ragnarok. You know, as
Ended. We're still going. Okay.
looks over at you all and says, "By the way, if you look over about 100 feet over there, past the that torture tent, and you see a small tent that has holes in it everywhere, where you just see people in chairs with fire giants like poking them with hot prodders. You look past that, and you see a cage with a whole bunch of what would be like 15-foot tall shields that are all in this tent, that are not in this tent. It's like a cage that's almost like chicken wiry kind of around it, kind of a thing, with one fire giant standing guard at it. And it looks like it's a kind of in an area that's at the back of a bunch of buildings. Like all of the entrances to those buildings are facing outwards. And in the center of those buildings that are facing outwards, they're facing away from where this cage is, the circular cage that has a whole bunch of these 15-foot shields in them.
Can homeboy in front of the cage see me? Like see us where we're standing?
Currently, yes. If you can see them, yeah, he's doing laps, so it's not like he's looking directly at you. He's just walking around the cage on a patrol.
I would hope.
So I'm gonna try to time my performance so like right as I hit like the crescendo of the chorus, that I can make eye contact with this guy and just try to draw him in.
Love it. Okay, cool.
I mean, we're already rocking the cooking show. I'm gonna look at the seeing stones and be like, "This is for you, Midgard or Waterdeep or whatever you want to call it." I'm like, we're getting weird today.
I'm
gonna look at Zari.
Looks at you blankly as a sending stone would. And
I'm gonna look at Zari and I'm gonna say, "All right, look. So I think we can get her to dance with an unconscious Carl if we tell her that we think it'll bring Carl back around." And if we manage to convince her of that, and I can draw this guard away from that cage, do you think you can get over there and into that cage?
Probably, but keep in mind, 15-foot shield. Where am I going to put?
I don't know. You have a robotic dog. I didn't think it was beyond you.
Bag of holding. Bag of holding. Bag of holding.
Can I put it in the bag of holding?
I don't know if it will actually fit in a bag of holding, to be honest with you.
Can I cast reduce on it to make it fit?
You could and fit it in a bag of holding.
See,
Bag
we've
of
got a
holding,
plan,
baby.
baby.
Okay.
Looks like we're in.
I couldn't load second level spell, so we're just going to say I'm going to cast reduce, and
That'll be
waste the
what you
second
do.
level spell.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I couldn't load any second
If we
level
get there, I
spells.
feel like a lot of stuff's got to go right before we get there. So
Yes.
So you're now in front of Hildy's tent, and the sun is
Yeah.
down. There's the boiling of a gumbo going on, a whole meal being prepared. It smells amazing. The boy choir's practicing. There's been kind of a dance floor set up by two of the slaves. The other two are practicing their singing. Slegnir is standing with a giant "It's a Party," I think it was, banner.
let's get weird.
Let's get weird.
Let's get weird. Banner that has a whole bunch of emojis on it, just really just destroying whatever dignity or integrity he had prior.
Perfect.
I'm going to go over to Zelda and I'm going to say, look, I'm sure you've noticed that our friend Carl has not been feeling the best, right?
No, not at all. She seems out of it.
Yeah. So from where we're from, right? There's a lot to be said for the power of song and for the power of dance. And we were wondering if you could try to, make her feel better, to help bring her around. If you could just dance with her a little bit when I do this number that I'm about to do. Do you feel like that's something you could do?
She looks down at you and puts her giant hand on your shoulder, looking into your eyes and says, "Steve, I'm on your page. I'm an expert at the matters of the heart."
Yeah, I know you are, and that's why I came to you specifically.
Every asparagus is.
I was going to say, when asparagus is in lemonade, we do what we can.
As she hears that and goes, "Ugh, classic Pisces," and goes and as she's walking away from Steve and you guys, says, "Would this be the time to kind of ding and dash on the tent, kind of a thing?"
Yeah,
kind of
I would do. Yeah, I would send one of your slaves over to do it, though. They're still
get the boys singing, get them started.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a performance roll here, and this is gonna be the performance roll of my life. I'm assuming I get advantage because we've set this up.
As I'm making food, I'm wondering how they ding dash on a tent because there's nothing to knock or ring. So I'm just sitting here cooking the gumbo, and I'm very excited. I'm like, ooh, let's see how this goes.
An 18 with advantage.
With advantage, an 18, which is you have
18's
the most beautiful, creepy boy choir voice.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm just starting out like.
It kicks on. They pick up on your notation and understand exactly where to come in as you hear in the background. Oh God, I gotta fucking look up these lyrics now. I should have done it to start.
Don't worry about it. I know them because
Kiss by, sorry, Brogan. Kiss by a rose on. And you hear it coming from the background as Steve, you are blending with them perfectly. You've trained with this creepy boy choir before.
Yeah.
And Zelda runs over.
It's like it's not Steve's first time with creepy boy choirs. That's what you're picking
it does not sound like it at all.
As a weird deli manager dad, I believe him.
Yeah, that's what I
believe him.
He somehow ended up in the deli.
He was also covered in oil at one point in time, passed out on a horse. So I mean, he's had a life.
Yeah, he's lived a bit. He's been lived in, as some would say about a car or a house.
So does she start dancing with the
Well, first thing she does is runs over and she wants to do the ding and dash. And as she does, she runs over, grabs the front door kind of tarp / door. It's like a hardened resin canvas, grabs it and tears it off its hinge, and then runs back over.
Subtle. Yeah.
It might be for fire giants.
Wants to give you a high five as she does, Zari. Do you give her a high five as she does?
I give her a high five, and then the moment she's past me, I bang my hand to my forehead.
As you do, you see
through the forehead, just past her body.
Taken Steve's suggestion, but has possibly gotten it wrong. As you look, she runs over to Carl, who's been already untied on the horse, seems to have a bunch of ropes tied to her hands and her feet in different areas, and starts dancing with Carl, but not as holding Carl. as puppet mastering Carl.
Perfect.
As they start dancing with strings and
Marionette
everything.
Carl.
Oh god, Carl's going to kill us.
The
Listen
cowboy
to
hat's
me.
all askew. It's great.
You've
I'm
been
handing out
absolved.
gumbo at this point. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the guard as he walks by because I know the crescendo's coming, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you want some gumbo?"
So I'm gonna wait for this guard. Like I'm making eyes at Zari. Obviously, like come on, you got to get headed over that direction. But as the guard turns the corner, I'm gonna lock eyes with him and just like give it my all in the chorus, like baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave.
and you as you're doing it, your performance of an 18 is fantastic. You
Yeah,
immediately get his
it's great.
attention. The boy choir in
Even
the
though
back.
he says from,
"Kiss
I'm looking at
my
the backups,
rose,"
and I'm like,
you
if
hear it
you
in the
say
background.
from,
And well, sorry, Brogan, what was that?
I'm saying, even though he said from, I'm looking at the backup singers, and if they say from,
Their
because
eyes are
it's
looking
by
at you.
again, I'm
Yeah.
bringing straight slaps.
They're in terror. They start sweating and shaking as they're singing. You can even hear it in their voice as there's now vibrato going on. As they look over at Steve, like, "What did he do? Oh no! Oh no!"
Well, so
Kind of
I didn't mess up. Maybe the backup singer sing it differently, but I got the lyrics pulled up over here, baby.
hell yeah. So
Steve-
they've just been beaten
Steve-
for the wrong reason.
Steve is the main voice. He could do whatever he wants. He could start singing Fat Bottom Girls. It doesn't matter because he's the solo.
Fat bottom girls, like they're in the background.
They're like, they make the rock and world go square, and I'm like, say it again.
They make
Say
the
it
rock and
again.
world go square. Sorry, bro.
So do I manage to draw this guard in?
He is
with
looking
my
at you
amazing-
and smells this cooking, sees what's
Yeah.
going on, looks over and sees a Hildy in a doorway, pissed off, folded arms, and walks over to what must be an amazing party as seeing Carl dancing with Zelda, and walks over and immediately gets over to the pot you're cooking in, Brogan, and says, "You got any more of that?"
I sure do, killer. Hold up. I'm gonna pour some gumbo in like a weird circular thing, you know, where you're holding the ladle and you're bringing it in all nice and sexy. And then I'm gonna sprinkle some of the extra spices over it, just like a good chef knows how, and then hand the bowl to her.
And he grabs it. He goes, "Wow, this is really spicy. I really like this." And he's eating it. He goes, "You know, us fire giants, we really like spice."
Yeah. As a acidic dragonborn myself, big spice guy. Got your flavor at heart here.
You hear in the background Zelda yells and screams, and you can tell it's not in your direction. It is at Hildy's direction. "You can't be afraid of spice!" And you hear crying coming down from her eyes.
And she lets Carl go limp.
Yeah.
And like as she's waving her arms, like Carl's getting dragged.
Yeah, she does the run and wave. The arms on the sides, the run and wave as she's crying now, and she has just run
That's
off.
even better. Yeah, like Carl's in front of her, and like as Zelda points,
Yeah,
Carl's
as
body
the
also
puppet
points.
master.
Yeah.
So Carl's running too in perfect puppet motion.
Can I throw a dart to cut the rope so that way Carl's
Don't
not
you
being
dare!
dragged?
You let this happen.
All of a sudden, you're torpedoed by Steve.
So I pull the
song
dart
is ended,
the
and I'm just
same.
gonna tackle him.
So I pull the dart the same way I do the assassination rats, and then here comes sharding Steve,
Yeah.
just marauding out of the side, and he tackles me after I hand the bowl off, and I'm like, this is Flavor Town. What are you doing?
I'm gonna say, don't upset her. We need to let this happen. Zari is over working on getting a shield right now.
I feel like I will whisper to Steve. I feel like we're letting down our family, and then I'll wait for the axe to light up.
It just lights up.
It just you hear boots, 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 and it becomes pretty a Jersey Shore. It becomes like a
What
club.
about a scream?
Yeah. As it lights up in neons on your back for the undercarriage neons, and as this fire giant is talking to you, Brogan, Zara, you see his attention has been taken by Brogan. Carl is taking the attention of Zelda currently, and Steve is singing beautifully with a creepy boys choir at the moment. What do you do, Zari?
Cool. With all that distraction going on, I'm going to sneak over to the cage, but bonus action, giving myself bardic inspiration for the next few minutes.
What do you say to yourself that's so
Well
inspiring?
done.
sneak.
I really hope these boys do not screw this up. I really hope my boys don't screw this up.
Alternatively, I don't want to be a fire giant's girlfriend for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That won't be anyone's girlfriend.
I want to
This
go home.
crazy last minute plan works that they
And
came up with.
you're sneaking
I think I'm
over.
the only one who
I would
hasn't
say
been a girl
give me a stealth and beat a 12. That's all you got to beat. A 6. So as
You have bardic inspiration though,
you
right?
do have bardic inspiration, roll it up.
Yeah. What's the inspiration? D6 or D8?
D6. I think at 5 it's D6. Well,
So we need a 6.
a
Nope.
10. So with a 10, you're going out, and as you get to the cage slightly, you're like sneak, 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 and then you go to look back and see what's going on in front of you, and as you bang into the cage slightly with the side of your face, and as you bang into the cage slightly with the side of your face, it makes a rumpling around the cage area, making a sound. And Brogan and Steve, give me a perception on if you pick up on the sound going on, or if the
Oh,
fire
I
giant
hope I
does.
do. I've got a reaction if I do.
I have so many funny things I want to try. I hope I make it.
I
Oh
would
god,
hope
So,
I'm so absorbed into this delicious gumbo I'm making. There's no way I could possibly pay attention to anything else.
with a 13, Steve does. Steve, you notice immediately that the fire giant is about to start turning around while he's holding this bowl in front of him, eating the gumbo, and you see his head start to turn. What do you do, Steve?
So the song has ended, obviously, because a certain amount of time has passed. So I'm immediately gonna break into another song that I know everybody knows, and I'm gonna start off with "Mama, I just killed a man, put a gun against his head."
Pulled my trigger, now he's dead.
You hear a layering as
Brogan
the boy choir
joins
comes in.
in because
As the boy choir
loves
comes
it.
through. Give me a performance.
I
And
will, yeah.
with advantage.
Show me
and
that
beat a 12.
operatics backup
It's not
singers.
bad. It's not a bad performance.
Not at all. He starts to get a tear in his eye and goes and sits in the snow, the kind of dirty snow as everyone's been tracking on it in a battle camp. And it starts watching the performance while Zari goes unnoticed.
I wink at the slaves and I'm like, "Yeah, good job on the operatics. Way to stay up for the switch." Also, shout out to Freddie Mercury for first guy to bring operatics to rock. Getting it.
Thank you, Master Brogan. As they do the creepy boy choir
Don't-
voice.
Don't break performance.
Sorry. And they start into it again. Zara, you've gotten to the cage. You find that there's a lock on this cage. It's fire giant size lock, which means it's like 2 foot by 2 foot kind of a thing. And it
2
has a
foot by 2
keyhole.
foot.
You can fit your fist in it if you wanted to.
Okay, for the cage, are the bars is there enough space that I could theoretically just fit through
No,
the
it's
bars?
more like a chicken wire style cage. So like if you're thinking of it,
Dang.
it's like small hexagonal squares around. It's like fire giant thick. So if you were to scale up that, so it would probably be like the thickness of like
The sickness for the thickness.
it
I
would
like
be
that.
some sickness. It would be yeah, exactly that. It would be like the size of a heavy gauge electrical wire kind of a thing. If that helps, I'm sure that did.
Cool. I have an idea.
Okay.
I cast reduce on the shield that lasts for about 10 minutes, and then I cast vortex warps. On a shield.
Ooh, and post Vortex Warp as you cast Reduce and then cast Vortex Warp, post it up, and we will see what this spell does, because I think this is a great idea.
Yeah,
Clutch
this
stuff.
is gonna work. This is gonna work.
I couldn't load second level spells, so.
Oh, no worries,
Hold on,
I'll
I
post
can
it
post
up.
it. Oh, you got it? You got it? Okay.
Vortex warp.
So Vortex Warp. You magically twist space around another creature you can see within range. Oh, creature. Well, we can call it, yeah. I mean, these possibly have sentience to them, so we're gonna fudge it a little bit and call it a creature because
Oh, it possibly has sentience?
I don't know. I mean, who do I know? I don't know. I'm the DM. Like, what do I know?
Okay. I mean, we've created sentience in a bunch of things so far, so
I just
yeah,
got done singing Seal, and I'm currently singing Queen. We can fudge things a little.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So Target must make a Constitution saving throw or is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choosing within range. All of a sudden, these get cast and bang! All of a sudden, right in front of you, instantaneously at your feet, you see what went from a 15-foot shield to a 5-foot shield is now right in front of you.
Cool. I put it in the bag of holding. As I pick it up, I just put the bag of holding over. I can't pick it up.
And as you're running back, you put it in the bag of holding, and then you're able to pick it up now that it's in the bag, like sliding it in, kind of a thing. And as you slide it in, it's in the bag of holding, and you start running back. You hear, "I see a little silhouette of a man," as you're hearing the boy choir in the back with Steve going at it.
And then we got Zari looking like a straight Grinch, just like holding the Santa sack, being like, "I'm good to go. I got it." Guys,
all the
Wrap
while,
it up.
Zelda's still arguing with Hildy, and Carl's just going crazy.
Arms
My
everywhere.
heart
As Zari gets closer,
exercises
she
today.
tries to look as relaxed as possible, which she does not.
No. As Carl's gonna be so mad when she gets back.
She was an integral part to this whole plan. She shouldn't be.
She
upset.
was a
She
huge
was
part of
key.
the plot.
She was key.
So Zari, you get back, and you see Steve singing, and Brogan is cooking and handing out some food, and you also see that Zelda and Zelda's walking back, and Hildy are walking back, but also as you see walking back, Carl's doing the puppet motions of walking, as they're walking back also.
Cool.
Fair enough.
And you see Zelda looks over at Brogan and says, "Is there room for one more?"
There's always room for one more in Flavortown.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. And this is Hildy, by the way. You might have heard me talk about her as my bitch ex who left me. But this is her in the flesh. All the good things I said too. But yeah, this is her. And you see if fire giant woman, same about size, somewhat of the same
I'm
features.
gonna chime in and be like, you know what? I didn't even remember that negative thing you said because you always had such glowing things to say about her. It was honestly so much like 90, 10. It caught me by surprise. You even brought that up.
Give a deception if you'd like.
I will. This is what Brogan was made for.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. You would see Hildy blush if you could see it on her fire red, on her ashen gray skin, with her fire features, because you can't really see many features develop on these fire giants other than sometimes sadness and tears or smiles. And she reacts to you so lovingly and warmly and gives Zelda a hug and a huge kiss on the forehead. And as Zelda gets a huge hug and kiss on the forehead, looks over at Brogan, you see her starting to hand out the Puppet Mastery wooden control thing as Carl kind of moves with it and goes to hand it over to Brogan and says, "Now that Hildy's back, I don't need her anymore."
Congrats.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Zari.
I was just saying congrats.
Yeah, and she
Congrats.
looks at you and winks.
Need her.
And tries to pass you off the wooden control for Carl, kind of a thing, the wooden puppet master.
Well, now that all the food is made, Zari and I will happily take it. Thank you so much. If you don't mind, glorious fire giants, I would like to continue the party. I still got a lot of gumbo left, and I was breaking into a little bit of the fire giant booze, and I'm having a good time. Do you mind if we keep hanging out?
Yeah, let's hang out. We've got booze, we've got food, we've got love. And it looks over at Zari and says, "Sorry." And then gives Hilda a hug. And
Sorry.
sorry, Zari. And gives her a hug and says, "For tonight, let's party and let's love each other. For tomorrow, we find ourselves marching on Yurgmendor at the top of the mountain to slay the flying dragon. Are you all with me?"
Yes.
Woo!
Go
Flavortown.
I'm gonna lean into these two and say, "Don't we need something from that mountain?"
Yeah, we're
Yes.
100% not going to do this at all. This is definitely another dine and dash moment. It's fine, but we're having a good time. So let's.
But we need to go to that mountain eventually. Should we just go with them?
Yeah. No, I
Use them as a
100% think.
distraction, yeah.
I 100% think the plan is I keep feeding them gumbo and pouring booze in the gumbo like I have been. We let them get a late start, and we go ahead and we start in the morning at regular
I
time.
gotcha. Okay, I gotcha.
We need a scale from the thing, from the dragon.
Yeah.
From the
Yeah.
snake.
Yeah, we're 100% gonna do that. The hangover party that's gonna happen tomorrow morning, we're all gonna escape it. Me because I'm a problem alcoholic, and you two because you're smart. So I mean, that's how we're gonna get there.
Steve gets a little tear in his eye when you call him smart.
As I've been aggressively pouring the fire giant booze into all the bowls except for mine and
They are, you
Zari's
can
and
tell they're getting
Steve's.
drunk because you can see the way Hildy and Zelda are now kissing. They are doing the kind of kiss where you throw your face at the other person, and it's like roast beef sandwiching. Like you can't tell where lips.
It's the sloppy last call kiss. We all
Yeah.
know.
It's
We've
a,
seen it.
it's
We've
a
seen it.
disgusting tongue action that never actually works
Yeah.
and looks terrible,
And
and everyone
halfway-
else around is like, "Why is this a thing?"
Oh, for sure. And they're missing each other's face and mouth half the time as they're going. It's that kind of like sloppy, like just right up against
And
each
then
other.
there's like tears and
makes-
steam
It makes
because
like
they're fire
rock on rock
giants. There's just
noises
a
when
bunch
they
of
do it.
steam.
Because
Oh,
of
yeah.
the giant.
Their hair
It's
flames up
gross.
even more each time. Like it smells like burning booze.
I'm afraid of what's going to happen in the tent tonight, guys. Maybe we should seek other accommodations.
So
We
so
will
I
get
let
turned into slave if we seek other accommodations. So
I look over at the slaves and I'm like, slaves, we're having a good time. In about an hour or so, or if the Hildy or Zelda start to go away, you guys are on cleanup, duty, all right? And then you got to come back to Zelda's tent. Everybody good?
Oh, fantastic. We'd love to. I was going to ask if we could be on cleanup duty. Thank you, Brogan.
All right. And then after I say that, I'm gonna sneak real into that one slave who's been talking the most. I'm talking like I'm this close to the slave.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
like
it's
right
going to be
on
the
his
elf,
face.
for sure. Yeah.
I'm like, are you guys actually okay here? Like, what's going on? Because
Oh,
we're
you're not
not
o-
slaves.
You're not okay. Blink twice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very much like fart if this isn't okay. Do anything.
We, yeah, and he looks and he's trying not to blink, like, because he doesn't want to say he's not okay. He goes,
I'm like right here in his face. I'm like,
yeah.
seriously,
And
blink
he-
if you're not okay.
You can see his
It's
eyes are shaking. He's
okay.
trying not to blink, but he doesn't know how many blinks. Like he's completely forgotten just in how scared he is at the moment, or how many blinks mean what. And so he closes one eye and keeps one open, and then does the same thing but in reverse order.
All right, so I'm gonna very, very, very quietly look at him and say, look, I'm gonna leave tomorrow morning before they get up. If you guys hate it here that much, you could also wake up early and come with me.
Oh well, thank you for the option. Yes, we may. That would be that yeah. If you see us early in the morning with bags packed and ready to go, and he's wearing like tattered clothing and just like rags, and he's like, well, I don't have bags, but if you see us with no bags packed and ready to go, that means we'd care to join you. If not, we wanted to stay with the wonderful, beautiful, fantastic, amazing, emotionally well put together Zelda.
Can I make an insight roll to see if that's total bullshit?
You give an insight.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I
the fact
didn't
they
need
said
one.
emotionally stable tells you it's not.
I mean, I don't know because I'm
You don't-
stupid, but if
Yeah.
anyone else can figure it out, that would be great.
You try to help out with the nicest like uncle. You give the uncle advice. You know what I mean? You
Big
never
uncle
dive deep
energy
enough.
here.
Yeah.
Yep. Big uncle energy here.
Yeah, big uncle energy. As Zari rolls a 17, and Zari is picking up on the idea. They seem to be pretty happy with things the way they are. They do like servitude in a sense, apparently. But Zari can tell, having beautiful song with Steve and being given food for the like really good food for the first time from Brogan, you can tell that they're possibly looking to change who they serve in servitude.
Oh
we're gonna get
God,
some
my boys
slaves.
decided to create an army by accident.
I didn't try to. I got Eugene and the kittens and everything by accident, and now we're gonna get slaves. I'm
Well,
not built for this.
While they're arguing, I'm gonna take Carl's dusty body and get her back secured on top of Sleipnir for the ride.
Undo all the ropes from her hands and her feet and everything, marionette style. Love it.
It's like Looks like a
All right,
terrible BDSM session happened to you, Carl. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
I guess we head back then. I don't know.
Yeah.
After about an hour or so, I keep pouring the booze into the gumbo for the guard sergeant and Hildy and Zelda, and then I guess we head back.
Sure, and as you're starting to walk back, and you start to, the slaves are packing up all of the stuff. Everyone has been fed, had drinks. You guys have, of course, used temperance. You guys all of a sudden see from behind you, what would be you hear loud footsteps running towards you. And as you hear loud footsteps running from behind you, you all look behind you. And as you look behind you on the way back to Zelda's tent, um, all of a sudden you see a naked green figure running from the darkness. And
Sweet.
as completely naked, he runs, and you start to see what would be the silhouette of a large pot belly kind of a thing as he's running, a skinny leg, skinny top, but pot belly as he's running through. And you see what would be a naked Master Splinter running back to the tent of Zelda's tent, running, I'm naked, it's a party, I'm naked, it's a party, as he runs past you all. And as
No, no. Do I get to trip as a reaction,
you can
please?
try, give a
Or
reaction.
no. What do I roll for that?
A trip, give me an unarmed, just roll me a strike with a weapon, I would say. We can just go
Oh.
with a weapon strike.
As we're saying this, I just cover Steve's eyes.
Cover Steve's eyes.
Yeah.
A 12. As if the front was bad enough, he gets stripped down into the snow, face flat, reeking of booze, and you look and you are staring at the back of a little green, or a tall, skinny shouldered, skinny bodied, flat butt of Master Splinter in the snow. And as he gets up, shakes his head and says, I have no idea what came over me. I just don't drink that much. Thank you.
As Steve's eyes are covered and mine are forever scarred because I already had to hug this cretin. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do, and I will take the absolute sadness shirt off of Slegnir, and I'm gonna drench that giant dress shirt over Master Splinter, and I'm like, you are not taking this shirt off until we say it's okay.
And he puts it on. It looks like a very, very long robe kind of a thing. Like,
Perfect. He's used to that.
yeah, like if not like a kid wore dad shirt, or it looks like a baby wearing dad shirt kind of an idea. And as he does, he puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Thank you, Brogan. We become great friends."
I slap him with a spatula again, and I'm like, no, no. Talked about not touching me.
And as a slap from a spatula gets heard all over the camp, you walk back to Zelda's tent to be able to end the night and start the next day. And that is where we will start our next session.
Excellent.
Awesome, guys.
The slap heard round the world, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe that plan went anywhere.
I really, when I level again, I'm gonna have to pick up cooking supplies. I'm gonna be Flavor Flav.
Apparently, I'm gonna have to practice my real life singing because that was rough.
I'm gonna bring the Flavor Flav clock too. I'm gonna get a giant clock thing too. I mean, we're gonna bring Flavor Flav the rapper and Flavor Town into Flavor everything.
Though Steve does seem like the type of dude that would fight for his life singing "Living on a Prayer" in a karaoke bar.
Oh,
so.
100%. 100%.
Oh, what generic white guy karaoke songs? We got a couple. We got a couple.
They will all be sung on the next Sleuths in Ysgard. Well, cheers, guys. Thank you for our wonderful cast and role players. They were amazing tonight and were hilarious. I cried a few times, and it wasn't sad tears. It was really good tears. It was a lot of fun. Check us out on YouTube, on Spotify. Like, comment, subscribe. We want to hear from you guys. We're definitely, if you pick up our posts on Twitter and repost them, let us know. We'll definitely be giving you shout outs and support on our end. Anything you guys would like to say to our viewership?
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any suggestions, we're totally open. We've used them before, and it won't be the last time. I'm sure you guys are always very, very funny with your comments and ideas. So please keep it coming because we love hearing that stuff.
Awesome. Well said.
Yeah,
Well,
just
thank
always enjoy even just being able to play. It's great. I
Yeah.
think we have a lot of fun. I always laugh. It is I'm I'm never sad about setting this time aside every week. So please join with us on that adventure because, the more the merrier.
yep. Jump in, buckle up, and ride the adventure highway with us. Is what we're looking to do. Well, cheers, guys. Thank you all, and thank you to our viewers, and we will see you next week. And hold on.